Well, good afternoon, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Rough morning to start. I did my morning video, and I keep forgetting things will never be the same when you have a power failure. When you have a power failure or the computer shuts down, it reverts to the last save section. And I added this camera right here because I thought that this would be nice because you can see a little bit more of here on the counter for all of those Eagle fans to see what it looks like to have 5 rings there together and so on. And you can see the 3 guys who we don't have a new contract for, Dak, Ceedee, and Micah. And it's a little bit different angle. You can see our antique piece that was in this house when we got it. And you can also actually see my shirt. So that way you can actually see what the shirt of the day will be. Maybe that should be a thing. I need to talk to my wife. But it saved, or the computer crashed, and when it crashed, it reverted back to inputting this camera to where it was. And when you input a new camera into the system, if you don't turn that one down, you get feedback. So shout out to Game Time Brian, who's out there delivering mail, who let me know I've got feedback on my video, and it pisses him off. Don't mean to piss you off, Game Time, because I know how you are. Be that as it may, we have some interesting news here that's being shared on the Twitter. Okay, tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Ceedee Lamb, shout out to Ceedee Lamb, it's been announced that he will be having his youth football camp. Okay, so you're like, okay, big deal. You gonna go work out? No, they're not gonna take an old ass like me. It's about the kids and giving back to the community. However, if the media is present, you think the media will show up? It could be the first time Lamb speaks about his potential contract situation, because here we only have speculation. See, we've got one side of the equation where we see Brandon Ayuk, who is posting practice videos of the Commanders, and makes you think, oh man, he really wants to be playing with the Commanders and so on. And his contract situation where he's literally, crying about, they don't love me, they don't want me, and everything else. Ceedee Lamb, the only thing we know is he's not showing up for OTAs and is planning on holding out for training camp. But we don't know what his real feelings are about the situation, if he's angry about it, or if he just understands that this is business and this is just the way it is with the Cowboys, because it's not like he's the only player in the history of the Cowboys who's had to hold out to get paid. Let's be clear here. We know how this goes. We know CD, is in a long line where you got Zeke Elliott who had to hold out. You got Zach Martin last year that had to hold out to get paid. Hell, the great Emmitt Smith had to hold out to get paid. It is just dealing with the Cowboys. And it's funny because I was watching Law Nation a few minutes ago while I was sitting here waiting for my bride to get back so we can go spend some more money at Home Depot so I can keep working on this room out here. It's funny because they were talking about paying Dak, whether or not Dak Prescott should get paid. And he was playing the clip of Herm Edwards saying that, it's playoff success, that's the reason why you don't pay him. And I have to say that if that is the reality of just playoff success of paying guys, there's a lot of guys who've been paid that shouldn't have been. Because a lot of guys are getting paid who aren't making the playoffs. Justin Herbert has been in the league 4 years. He's made the playoffs 1 time and lost. You see what I'm saying here? Right? 4 years. He's been in the league 4 years. He made the playoffs once, and it was a playoff loss. Kyler Murray, he got paid, never made the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence, he does, at least to his credit, he's 1-1 in the playoffs. He did in his 4 years make the playoffs once. Deshaun Watson, he was 1-2 in the playoffs. He got paid. Lamar Jackson, I believe he's 2-4 in the playoffs. He got paid. So where is this notion that if you do not have success in the playoffs, you don't get paid? You don't get paid. Daniel Jones, 1-1 in the playoffs. He got paid. And here's another interesting piece I'll even throw in here as well. Because we can go down the line and look at guys that have gotten the big contracts, right? For the most part, after they've gotten the big contracts, a lot of them you look at and say, nah, they're not getting another big contract. That maybe they just become the veteran backup or the journeyman quarterback. Because we saw, like, say, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz will never get another big bag of money. Deshaun Watson, although it's going to be a couple more years before Cleveland can get out of that contract. Do you see Deshaun Watson getting another big bag of money? No. Doesn't, from what you've seen the last 2 years, not anywhere close. Kyler Murray. Do you see him getting another, getting up there in the top tiers of quarterbacks? No. Russell Wilson? No. He literally was fire sailed just to get out of town. And we're not sure that he's going to be the starter for the Steelers. So you can go down the list of guys that have been paid bigly, hugely, massively, because they're thought to be great quarterbacks, but become journeyman quarterbacks, basically, or guys that never get another one. It's very few of them that actually get the bag of money and continue to play where you look at it and say, yeah, that guy needs more. I mean, we could put more out there. Derek Carr. Do you see Derek Carr getting one of these big-ass contracts from here on out, after with the Raiders at one time being the highest paid quarterback in football? I don't. Do you see Jimmy G, another guy who was once the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Do you see him being able to get another big contract? I don't. Now, Kirk Cousins, well, Kurt has been doing this really good. I mean, he got himself 45. It wasn't a huge contract, but the fact that guy has probably made over $250 million in his career and still getting paid. You can't be mad at him. My point being is we literally have guys that have been really good, and those guys are the guys we want to get rid of. I can't understand it. And we hold these guys to different standards than we do anybody else. You follow where I'm going here, people? So my apologies on the morning video. Game time, I'll double check. I'll make sure I try and double check each time. And good news. We have our flight booked for Oxnard. Actually, it's for LA, and then we'll drive to Oxnard. We're going back to Cali. We're going back to Cali to cover the boys. We'll be there August 4th through the 12th, and I can't wait. Peace out, good people.